Is my screen visible for everyone, right? Guys, my screen is visible, right? So last session we discussed about string manipulations. We discussed about string manipulations. What is string and how we can manipulate the string data, that we discussed in the last session. String manipulations. And before that we discussed about the arrays, types of arrays, and after that we discussed about the string manipulations. There are some predefined methods which are available, and with the help of those predefined methods we can manipulate the string data. So how we can manipulate and all, we tried with the last session by using predefined methods. So after the string manipulations we have the concept oops. So introduction to oops also we done with in the last session, and I would say yeah, oops I can categorize into, there are two parts, guys. In the oops part 1 we can discuss class and object, and next we can discuss types of variables and next we can discuss types of methods, and we can discuss types of constructors, and after that we can discuss access specifiers. This is OOP part 1. In the OOPS part 2 we can discuss about principles. There are four principles we have. First one is, I would say, encapsulation, and second one is, I would say, inheritance, and third one is, I would say, polymorphism, and fourth one is, I would say, abstraction. Okay, these four principles I will give the outline of these four principles, and then we can go ahead with each one by one. Okay. Yeah. So first coming to here, what is encapsulation? Encapsulation meaning it is the process of combining variables and methods as a single entity. Variables and methods as a single entity is called encapsulation. Is called encapsulation. Is called encapsulation. Okay. So what is the, why we are going with the encapsulation? Because security purpose. Security, how we can secure the data and all. So in depth we can discuss at the time of encapsulation. As of now I am giving complete outline of each principle. What is encapsulation? It is the process of combining variables and methods as a single entity is called encapsulation, and with the help of encapsulation we can get the security. Okay. Next, inheritance meaning it is the process of extending the properties from one class to another class. Extending the properties from one class to another class. One class to another class is called inheritance. Is called inheritance. There are types of inheritance we have. Types of inheritance we have, guys. What are the types we have? Single level inheritance, single level, and there is a multi-level, and there is, we have hierarchical, and we have hierarchical and multiple and hybrid. Multiple and hybrid. These are the five types of inheritance we have. Hybrid. Okay. Only inherit from one level is called single level, and if you want to inherit the multiple levels, then we can go ahead with the multi-level. Hierarchical meaning we can inherit the properties, multiple child class can inherit the properties from only one parent class is called hierarchical inheritance, And after that we have the multiple meaning. So one child class can inherit the properties from multiple parents is called multiple inheritance. Hybrid meaning combination of any two inheritance is called hybrid inheritance. Okay, so that we can discuss in depth at the time of inheritance. And after this we have the polymorphism. We have polymorphism. Polymorphism means one object exhibits multiple behaviors based on the situation is called polymorphism. Okay, polymorphism meaning one object exhibits. Polymorphism meaning one object exhibits multiple behaviors, multiple behaviors based on the situation is called polymorphism. Are you guys clear with my statements? What I'm saying is called polymorphism. One object exhibits multiple behaviors based on the situation is called polymorphism. And this the best examples for the polymorphism. There are two types we have. First one is the method overriding, and second one is the method overloading. First one is method overloading, and second one is method overriding. Second one is method overriding. Okay, next we have the abstraction. Abstraction meaning it is the process of hiding the unnecessary data and providing the required information. It is the process of hiding the unnecessary data and providing required information. Unnecessary data and providing required information is called abstraction. So this abstraction we can achieve in two ways, guys. First one is by using abstract classes, and the second one is interfaces. We can achieve abstraction in two ways. First one is using abstract class is the one way. Using abstract class is the one way, and second one is abstract class is one way, and second one is using interface. Okay, this is complete outline of four principles. What are the four principles we have? Encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism, and abstraction. Okay, fine. And introduction to OOPS also. Yesterday session we completed, and today we are going with the class and object. So the heading is what is class? The heading is class. Heading is class. So first one is class is a blueprint or model or template. Are you guys clear with my statements? Class is a blueprint, model or template. Class is just for imagination. For example, if you want to construct a building, first you can decide how many floors you want to construct, right? So you can take paper and then you can tell to the builder like I want 2 floors, I want 3 floors. That is blueprint. Okay, class is just imagination. So here the point is class is a blueprint or model, and next point is I would say class is imagination. Class is imagination only. Class is imagination which does not exist physically. Exist physically. Which does not exist physically. Are you guys clear with my statements? Third step is class is the keyword which is used to create the class. How you can create the syntax for the class is access specifier, class keyword, and class name, and this is the scope of the class, right? Okay, fine. Now I would go here, and next point is class is used to declare variables and objects. Declare variable and objects, variable and methods. Okay, class is used to declare variables and methods. Once class created, we can create here. Next point you can say software is nothing but program is nothing but a group of classes. Okay, group of classes group of classes are called program. Okay, group of classes are called project. Okay, so in the interview perspective they will ask like what is project, right? So group of classes are called project. Next point here once class created we can create number of objects. Next point here, class code will be stored in method area. These are the points you have to familiar with class. What are the points? Class is a blueprint or model or template. Class is just imagination. Class is imagination which does not exist physically, and class is the keyword which is used to create the class, and class is used to declare the variables and methods, and group of classes are called project. Once class created, we can create number of objects. Class code will be stored in the method area. Class code will be stored in the method area. This is the syntax for the class. Public, and next I would say class and demo. So these are the information you should be familiar. So if anyone will ask like what is class, you have to tell these all the points. Okay, you have to tell these all the points. Okay, fine, very good. Now next question is what is object. Object meaning any real world entity is called object. Whatever the things we are seeing with our eyes, for example, I'm seeing chair, that is one object. I'm seeing board, that is one object. Fan, everything in the world we can say object. Okay, so object meaning any entity in the world, any entity in the world is called object, guys. Is called object, which means object exists physically. Okay, object exists physically. Here how you can create object for programmatically, there is a new keyword, guys. New keyword, or we can say new operator which is used to create the object. How you can create? Normally new class name, right? So when you mention like this, then which means object got created in heap area. New operator which is used to create the object. Once class created, for one class we can create number of objects, guys. Number of objects. Without classes we cannot create objects. For one class we can create number of objects. Without classes we cannot create objects. we cannot create objects. Next, coming to the next point. So JVM will allocate the memory in heap area. heap area at runtime. Okay, so whenever we are running the program, so then only the JVM will allocate the memory in the heap area at runtime. So next point is object will be stored in where? Heap area. Objects will be stored in where? Heap area. And when objects will be created? Objects will be created at runtime. Objects will be created at runtime. Objects will be created at runtime. Okay. So any entity in the world is called object. New operator which is used to create the object. And for one class we can create the number of objects. Without classes we cannot create the objects. And JVM will assign the memory, will allocate the JVM will allocate the memory in the heap area at runtime. Heap area at runtime. Okay, objects exist physically. Objects exist physically. Objects exist physically. This is the syntax. The syntax for this one is, this is the syntax. This is the syntax, yes. New operator and class name, and what happens? So object will be created. Object will be created. Okay, fine. Now here, so every object JVM will provide the unique hash code. Unique hash code. So that how we can find out that unique hash code? There is a methods. So here the point is, for every object, JVM will provide unique hash code, unique hash code, unique hash code. So these no two objects cannot contain same hash code. Okay, for every object, JVM will provide unique hash code. So if you want to know the unique hash code of that every object, then there is a hash code method that is coming from the object class. That is coming from the object class. So that I can show you practically. Now where I would go, here will show you. Connect అవట్లేదన్నా. For every object, JVM will provide the unique hash code. So guys, from starting to till now, we use the notepads. And from OOPS concept onwards, we will use the ID. We will use the ID. So first thing is, what is ID? Integrated Development Environment. Development Environment. Environment. So there are number of IDs in the market currently. There is a website that I can show you, editconfig, editor.config. If you go to that website, and you can get all the IDs which are what are the IDs we are using in the currently. So see, if I go down, see these many IDs will be there. Code, Corsair, CodeLight, Elementary Code, Builder, Gitya, GitLab. These many editors will be available in the market. These many editors, Eclipse, Brackets, so Gradle, VS Code. So these are the editors available in the marketplace. Okay. So why we are going with the IDE? Normally from starting to till now we done with the Notepad. Notepad. If you go with the for implementing projects also, if you go with the Notepad, so Notepad, it will take more time to implement the projects. It will take more time to implement the projects, right? To implement the projects. And next, one more disadvantage is it will not provide any auto suggestions, meaning Notepad will not provide any auto suggestions. Auto suggestions. Next, one more disadvantage is it will we cannot do debugging. Debugging is also very important thing in programmer life. So we cannot do debugging. We cannot do debug. We cannot do debug. So these are the some disadvantages with the Notepad. So the first thing is this is the major disadvantage. If you go with the Notepad, it will take every line we need to write manually. Okay, and it will take more time to implement the process. Okay, and it will not provide any auto suggestions. So everything we need to type manually. And next thing is we cannot do debug. We cannot do debug by using Notepad. By using Notepad, these are the some disadvantages we have on Notepad. So that is the reason all of them in the IT industry, so everybody they are using IDEs. So what does it mean by IDE? Integrated Development Environment. So what are the IDEs available in the market? This is the website. Go to editorconfig.org. Then you can get all the information of all IDEs which are using in the currently in the market. Currently in the market. In our case, we will use mostly three IDEs: Eclipse, VS Code, and IntelliJ. In Java domain, so mostly we will use these three IDs: Eclipse and VS Code, and next I would say IntelliJ. IntelliJ. This is IntelliJ. Okay, these are the three IDs. Now, so to overcome these three drawbacks, we are using the IDs. Now, how we can download IDE? So in your case, you can download Eclipse 2019 version. Eclipse, you can look for the Eclipse download 2019 version. 2019 version. Simply click on that 2019 version. So directly you can get Eclipse IDE 2019, and go to Java EE. And in my case, my system properties is Windows 64. So simply in your case also you can click on that. Simply you can click on that. It will be downloaded. This is in zip format. You have to extract and then you need to install. You need to install. So that is the process of downloading the ID from Chrome to your browser. I hope you guys are clear what is IDE and how to download the IDE. So IDE means Integrated Development Environment, and with the help of IDE, what are the advantages with the IDE? Why we are going with the IDE? So all the IT industries, everybody whoever is working in the projects, so they compulsory they are using IDs. Everybody they will everybody we will use the IDs, because these all the disadvantages you can overcome. Meaning we can, the first advantage is we can implement the project very less time. We can implement the project very less time, very less time compared to Notepad. And next thing is it will provide the auto suggestions when you, for example, when you are looking for the any word, if you can try with the starting two words, then it will give the some suggestions. It will provide auto suggestions. Auto suggestions, it will provide auto suggestions. And next, one more advantage with the ID is debugging. We can do debugging in IDs only. We can do debugging in IDs only. Okay, these are the advantages we have. That is the reason we are going with the IDs. Okay, if you go with the Notepad, we can develop the project, but it will take more time and it will not provide any auto suggestions. It will take more time. So that is the reason we are going with the IDs. So we have many advantages with the IDs, and then we are going with the IDs. There are number of IDs available in the market. If you go with this website, these are the I would say many tools available in the market. So in that we are going and we are going to download Eclipse 2019 version. Okay, initially it will be in the format of zip. You have to extract. So for Eclipse, no need to set up any environment variables and all. So simply you have to extract all, and it is extracting. Once it extraction got completed, then you have to install in your local. So simply click on that jar file, then it will be installed and then it will be opened. For IDs, no need to set up any environment variables and all. Simply you have to download and you can you have to install and then you can open and then you can start using the IDs. This is extracting. We'll see. So simply go inside and there is Eclipse. There is Eclipse. If you click on that, then your Eclipse will be open. Your Eclipse will be opened. So in my case, go to Eclipse 2019 version, Eclipse, and click on that. Now your Eclipse will be open. Now we are discussing about what? Object. So now you got the clarity why we are using the IDs. These are the advantages we have. That is the reason we are going with the ID. Okay, fine. Now we are discussing about object, right? Object is entity. Any entity in the world is called object. New operator which is used to create the object. For one class, you can create the number of objects. Without classes, you cannot create the object. JVM will allocate the memory in the heap area at runtime. Objects exist physically, and here the point is, for every object, JVM will provide the unique hash code. So, is there any proof? Yes, I will show the proof. So, simply you can install Eclipse. In my case, I install the Eclipse, and you can create the project. So there are perspectives. You can change to, this is JW Enterprise Edition perspective, and this is Java perspective. You can change to Java perspective, and here you can go to new and Java project and give any name. For example, in my case, I would like to give the project name is some SBI 22 is the project name I am giving, and then click on next and click on finish. Okay, module info.java is no need, so don't create. Okay, so when you go and then there is this show option and show view package project explorer. Now you can get this is the project which I created just now, and go to src, and here all backend files you can keep inside the src folder. Create one package and mention package name. I would mention basic programs dot sbi double two, like that I am giving. Okay, inside I would like to create the class. Simply look for the class and select the class and give the class name. And for example, here I am giving the class name is some user. User is the class name I am taking. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Now, what are the points which we discussed here? For one class, we can create a number of objects, right? For one class, you can create number of objects that I can show you practically. So in IDEs, you can use shortcuts. For example, if I want main method, so simply you can look for the main and control spacebar. It will give the auto suggestions. That is the advantage with the IDE. But if you go with the notepad, you have to type everything manually. So when you go with the IDE, you can save the time. So simply main control spacebar, you will get the main method. Okay, inside the main method, so I said every object for one class you can create number of objects. How could I create the object? New operator, new and user. What does it mean? Will be created. Object will be created in heap area at runtime. At runtime, when I run the program, are you guys clear with my statements? When I'm trying to run this program, and at runtime, JVM will create the object in heap area. Okay, object will be created in heap area at runtime. At runtime, this object I cannot directly use anywhere in the program. Okay, so this object data again I can keep one reference variable. That reference variable I am mentioning like as u1, and every variable we can declare with data type. And here the data type is what? Class. User is the data type. Yeah, this is one object which I created for the user. Same way I can create number of objects. Second scenario also same. New user object will be created in the heap area at runtime. This is the second object. This second object name I am mentioning like as the u2, and the data type is user. The data type is user. Okay. Okay, fine. Now what we discussed here, JVM will provide for every object, JVM will provide a unique hash code. Unique hash code. If you want to know unique hash code meaning address of that object. If you want to know hash code of every object, then there is a method called hash code method. Go to sysout statement and you will get the print statement and u1 dot hash code. u1 dot hash code. So you can save this program and there is a run option. You can run the program and you can see here this is what hash code of this object. And the same way I would like to go second as well, and I am copying this statement and then again I would like to mention here, and here I am changing to u2 and save this one, and I am running this program, and you guys closely observe this is no two objects have the same hash code because JVM will provide every object unique hash code. Unique hash code means this is the address of that object. So like this, you can create a number of objects also. Same thing will happen. For example, if I would like to create object 3 and here also if I would like to mention 3, if I run this program, see here, if you can create number of objects also, JVM will allocate the number of times hash code, unique hash code for the objects. So this is the one thing you have to understand. And once you are familiar with the object and hash code, and there is a concept garbage collector. Same in the object level itself, we have the garbage collector. So garbage collector, that is the internal program in the JVM. Garbage collector, garbage collector is the internal program in the garbage collector is the internal program in the JVM. Are you guys clear with my statements? Okay, what garbage collector will do? What is the purpose of garbage collector? Garbage collector identify the garbage collector identify the unused objects, guys. Garbage collector identify the unused objects, and it will remove unused objects from the heap area. It will remove unused objects automatically from heap area, from heap area automatically from the heap area. Are you guys clear with my statements? Are you guys clear with my statements? So Java has one more advantage, that is it can manage its memory itself, because it have the garbage collector. What it will do, for example, if you create for this class like 1000 objects, what garbage collector will do, it will identify the unused objects, and it can remove it can remove from the heap area. So that is the reason in Java we have the advantage with. So Java itself, it can manage its memory by using garbage collector. Next here the node point is node point programmers, Java programmers, they don't have any control on Java programmers don't have any control on garbage collector garbage collector. So that is the internal program of JVM, and it can, when you are running the program, it can identify the unused objects, and it can remove the unused objects from the heap area. This is internal program which is available in the JVM. So these are the points you have to familiar, guys. These are the points you have to familiar. What are the points? Can you please repeat the statements? What is class? Class is a blueprint or model or template. Next one. Class is a imagination which does not exist physically. Next. Class is the keyword which is used to create the class. Next. Class is used to declare the variables and methods. Next. Group of classes are called project. Next. Once class created, number of objects, you can create number of objects. Next, class code will be stored in the method area. So JVM architecture is very important because this one. Next, coming to the object. What is object? Any entity in the world is called object. Next one, new operator which is used to create the object. Next one, for one class we can create the number of objects. Without classes we cannot create the objects. Next, JVM will allocate the memory in the heap area at runtime. Next one, objects exist physically. Next one, for every object JVM will provide the key hash code. Is there any proof? Yes, this is the program for the proof. Next one, garbage collector is the internal program in the JVM. Next, garbage collector identify the unused objects. It will remove unused objects automatically from the heap area. Next, note. Note point is Java programmer don't have any control on the garbage collector. Okay, so these are the points you have to familiar with class and object. Are you guys clear with my statements? Okay, fine. So once you are familiar with the class and object, so in the class and object you have to do assignment. This is the one assignment. You have to do. Okay. So once you are familiar with the class and object, next concept you have types of variables, guys. This is the heading, types of variables. And before the types of variables, we can revise again What is variable? So at the time of beginning, we will discuss only what is variable. Mm. Because mm, at the time we did not discuss about the types of variables because we don't have such maturity to understand the types of variables. Okay, now you guys have some knowledge on how to write the program and how to do the compilation and all. You have some knowledge on the Java programs. Now you can have some knowledge on the Java, then you can go ahead with the types of variables. So first we can try to understand what is variable. Variable are the container. Variable is the container which is used to store the values. Store the values. Like we can specify the data type and a variable name and the value. We can assign the value. This is the value. Okay. Okay, fine. So here to specify the type of data, to specify the type of data in variable, we have data types. We have data types. So this is the syntax. This is the syntax. And variable again have there are two parts: variable declaration and variable initialization. So I am writing all variable declaration and variable initialization in single line. Okay, this is the beginning level. We discuss this one. Today we are going ahead with types of variables. Types of variables. There are three types of variables in Java, guys. Types of variables. There are three types of variables in Java. Three types of variables in Java. What are the three variables? First one is instance variable, and second one is static variable, and third one is local variable. Third one is local variable. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Now we can go ahead with one by one. So first one is instance variable. What is instance variable? This is the basic question, right? If anywhere you will go, what is the base question? Instance variable. The variables which are declared, the variables, are you guys clear with my statement? Which are declared inside the class and outside the method. Inside the class and outside the method is called instance variables. Instance variables. Instance variables. The variables which are declared inside the class and outside the method is called instance variables. Instance variables are called object variables. Instance variables are called instance variables are called object variables. Object variables. Next point is initialization of instance variables is optional. Initialization of initialization of instance variables is optional. Initialization of instance variables is optional. Optional. So instance variables you can access everywhere in the program. Instance variables. Next point is I can move little bit up. Yeah, we are discussing about the instance variables. Instance variable we can access anywhere in the program. Anywhere in the program. So that is the reason instance variables are called global variables. Instance variables are called global variables. Are called global variables. Instance variables are called global variables, global variables. Okay, next point is, if you don't initialize the instance variables, if you, very important points guys, every point is important, all will be if you attend the fresher level interview, so they will ask the questions in these variables. Next point is, if you don't initialize the instance variables, if you don't initialize the instance variables, if you don't initialize the instance variables, then JVM will allocate then JVM will allocate default values. Then JVM will allocate the default values. Default values. Next up, JVM will allocate the memory at runtime. JVM will allocate the JVM will allocate the memory for the instance variables. Memory for the instance variables at runtime. At runtime. At runtime. So as of now, these are all the points I can show you the practically as well. So the syntax generally public class, and the class name is I am taking some demo, and this is the scope of class. What is instance variables? You guys see here, which are declared inside the class and outside the method. Every program execution start from main method. Okay, I am taking the main method, public static void main, and here this is the string of aux. Okay, fine. Now this is the scope of class. This is the scope of the method. Now instance variables meaning, you guys come to here, which are declared inside the class and outside the method. Where can I declare? Here or here? Inside the class and outside the method. So you have to declare here. For example, int age equal to, I am declaring some 20. Okay. Now this is which variable? Instance variable. Instance variable. The variables which are declared inside the class and outside the method is called instance variable. Instance variable. Okay, instance variable. Uh, next here, next point is, if you want to access the instance variable, access the instance variable, you need to create the object, and then only can access the, you need to create the object, then only you can access the instance variables. Instance variables. Are you guys clear with my statements, what I'm saying? So I can show you programmatically. This is the program with respect to ASP. This is clear. Once you are clear with this one, now I would like to create one more class. I'm taking Java programs. Look for the class, create class. I'm mentioning class name is the demo. Okay, I would like to create the main method, and instance variables meaning the variables which are declared. So initialization is optional or mandatory? Optional. Okay, so now this is which variable? Instance variable. Okay, fine. uh, Coming to here, as of now I can initialize some value, some 20 is the age, and I'm taking string name equal to Raju is the name. This is also what? Instance variable. Instance variable. Okay, fine. Now I want to print these instance variables. If I want to print these instance variables, how could I print? How could I create? What is the syntax? By using new operator, object will be created in heap area. So this object can I reuse anywhere? No. This object can I reuse anywhere? This object contain all the information of this class. like properties, methods and all it is having. But this can I reuse anywhere in the program? No. We can keep again this object in one reference variable. That reference variable name is demo, and the data type for this one is demo class. This is clear? This is clear? Okay. So here one more point you have to remember, very important point. The point is, the point is, first I will try to print these values. If you want to print these values, demo dot age, then you will get the age of that person. Now this I can take sysout statement, and in the sysout statement demo dot age, I can save this one, and if I run this one, 20. This is normal scenario. There is other point. If I don't initialize the instance variable, here I will not assign any value, and I would like to try to print the value. In that case, 0 is coming. Who is providing that 0 value? JVM will provide the default values. In case of here also, for example, I don't initialize, I don't assign any value. In that case, what happens actually internally, I am copying the same statement, and inside I would mention demo dot age name, and in this case you will get the null. Who providing? JVM will provide. So in this case, what is happening internally? We have the memory, right? JVM architecture, you know, everybody know. In the JVM architecture, we have heap area. This is a heap area, and in the heap area, this is what heap area, and in the heap area, when you mention the new demo, when you mention the new demo, then what happen? One object will be created. This is the object. One object will be created. Okay, this is will be created when you write new operator. Okay, fine. But this you can reuse anywhere in the program? No. This is class information. This will be contain like a hundred of properties and hundreds of methods. Methods. Okay. This is object. New demo object. Object will be created. This we cannot reuse anywhere in the program. So that object you can keep in one reference variable. That reference variable name is some D is the reference variable. This is the reference variable dr demo. So in my case, I mention as the demo, and here also can mention like as demo. This is what reference variable. This is a reference variable. Okay, this is with respect to object. Now coming to instance variables. Instance variables. So what happen when you create the object? This is what object. Object. When you mention demo dot age, so if you pass the values, then the values will be directly printed. If you don't pass any values, then JVM will assign the default values. Default values. Default values. Okay, fine. This is demo age, and here also demo dot name. This is scenario number one. Scenario number one is if you don't initialize the instance variables, then JVM will provide the instance the default values. So this is the process internally happens like this. Okay, fine. Now we'll go to the scenario number two. Scenario number two is coming to here. There are two instance variables, string name and int age. And here also, I would like to create two objects. This is the demo one, and here also I'm changing to D1, and here also very important, guys. Here I am creating second object demo D2 equal to new demo and system dot same statements. I'm copying there and then I'm pasting here. Here simply I'm changing to D2 and T2. So see here, I'm not initialized. Okay, so I created the object, and if I run this program, it will provide the default values. Default values. Okay, it will provide default values. Save the program and run this one. You get the console here. You will get the default values. There it is printing here. So here the point is very important point is every object will maintain every object will maintain copy of the instance variables. Every objects will maintain its own copy of the its own its own copy of the instance variable. Are you guys clear with my statements? Very important point. Every object will maintain its copy of the instance variable. Okay, coming to here, and here what I am saying is every object will maintain copy of the instance variable. So this is object, right? This will maintain copy of the its own instance variables. Here I can directly assign the values. D1 dot age equal to, I am mentioning some age is 25, and D1 dot name is some Raju. D1 dot name is, I am mentioning the name is Raju. Okay, fine. And this is object, and this object is maintaining its own copy of the its instance variables. Okay, fine. And coming to D2 also, it will maintain its own copy. D2 dot name, I am mentioning like as Rani, and D2 dot I'm giving the Rani age. Rani age I am giving some 20. Okay, see here, I'm not initialize the instance variable, and I assign the values based on this point. What is the point? Every object will maintain its own copy of the instance variable. Its own copy of the instance variable. So it is maintaining its own copy of the instance variables. And this object also will maintaining its own copy of the instance variables. So this is the thing you have to understand. If I run this one, I can get these all the details. I can get these all the details. Can save this one and run the program. Console will be there. Show you and go to console. Perspective mode change, and again change to here. Save the program. and run this one. Console will be open. Go to show view. Go to user and run this one. Run Java application. Switch the perspective and again go to any program and run this one. Java application. We'll get the console right. Project. So we'll close and open once again. Again, can open the same. Go to DevTools and open Eclipse. 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 See here now console is coming. It is printing the all details of age. Raju age 25 and Rani age is 20. Rani age is 20. Okay. So here the point is every object will maintain the its own copy of the instance variables. Its own copy of the instance variable. This is clear or not? Instance variables is clear. Anyone have any confusion? Very, very, very important. If you understand instance variables, these types of variables, then only you can able to understand types of methods. Types of methods. This is clear or not? Instance variables. These are all the points you have to familiar with the instance variables. Instance variables which are declared inside the class and outside method is called instance variables. Instance variables called object variables. Initialization of instance variables is optional. Instance variables you can access anywhere in the program. That is the reason we are calling global variables. If you don't initialize the instance variables, then JVM will allocate the default values, and JVM will allocate memory for the instance variables at runtime. And if you want to access the instance variables, you need to create object, then only you can able to access the instance variables. Every object will maintain its own copy of the instance variables. This is clear, right? So once you are clear with this one, next there is a concept that is static variables. Static variables.
Excuse me, sir. So can we change the value of instance variables?
Here,
Once we have declared, once we have initialized, already initialized in the top.
you are initializing the
If we,
variables in object level. This is the
no,
object which I
before that.
created, and I am initializing the
No,
instance
before,
variable in object level. If you
no,
want
sir,
to
before
change the
that only
value,
if we have
you can do
initialized.
that one. This is your concern, right?
No, sir, before main method only if we have initialized. In the object level, can we change it?
In the object level only, I am passing the values.
No, sir. My question is before main method, I have initialized. For example, int age
For
is equal to
example, if you
20.
want to initialize here
Huh.
some 30,
Then later in the object level, can I change it?
no, basically here if you don't initialize here, then only here we can able to pass the value.
Okay.
For example, here if I pass the any value, some Raju, we can take any other name, some Madhavi, can take the name as Madhavi, and uh, I would say your question is if you pass the values here, and if you are trying to pass the values here, so in that case,
Yes.
it will be considered as these values, so that we can check once again. Take run as Java application, little bit right up. So in that case, it is taking only whatever the value you are passing in the object level, that is only it is considering, because
Okay, sir.
instance variables or object variables, so we can assign the values in the object level. So before, if you assign any value also, it will be considered only whatever the values you assign here. For example, if you remove here, then it will consider that value. Then it will consider Madhavi. Okay. So the
Okay,
thing
sir. Thank you,
is,
sir.
instance variables. In case of instance variables, and whatever you assign the values in the object level, that only it will be considered. That only it will be considered. Okay. Okay, fine. I hope this is clear, right? If I run this one, then you can get the data of Raju and Rani. Data of Raju and Rani. Okay. Now, next we have the concept that is static variables. Static variables meaning the variables which are declared, the variables which are declared inside the class and outside the method. Outside the method with a static keyword. With a static keyword is called static variables, guys. Is called static variables. Okay, static variables. Normally, how we can declare? If you coming to here, if you mention as static keyword, now this is what? This is static variable. This is static variable. Okay, this is static variable. The variables which are declared inside the class and outside the method is called static variable. Is called static variable. So here there is one story in the variables, types of variables. Okay, the story is the story is the story I will tell you. Before that, we can discuss few more points about the static variables and static variables which are declared inside the class and outside the class is called static variables. Next point is static variables. We can add static variables are called class level variables, class level variables, class level variables, and static variables we can access we can access using class name using class name. And if the static variables are present, if static variables present in the same class, if static variables present in the same class present in the same class, then we can access directly we can access directly we can access directly static variables. Static variables. Static variables. Are you guys clear with my statements? The variables which are declared inside the class or outside the method with the static keyword is called static variables. Static variables are called class level variables. Static variables are accessed using the class name. If the static variables are present in the same class, then we can access directly static variables. So why the static variables came into the picture? For example, there are two objects, right? What are the two objects? Raju and Rani is the two objects. And Raju and Rani, there are two objects. The two objects are belong to same company. Okay, if I go with the same instance variables approach, for example, int age, okay, and next also I am taking string. They're working in some IT company. I am taking the company name, the company, string company, and Raju is also working same company. D1 dot company, and he is working in some, I am taking as the search. Who is Raju? Raju is working, company name is search. And Rani also there. Rani is also working in the same company, that is search. Are you guys clear with my statements? Search, okay. And coming to here, and here also I would like to print the value like d1 dot company, and here also I would mention d1 dot company. Oh, this is the two d2, right? Yeah, save this one, and if I run this one, you can get the thing. Search and Rani both are belong to search. Now here closely observe. If you go with the Raju object properties, Raju name and Raju age is the like unique property. But Raju is belong to same company, and there is other person Rani is also belong to same company. So for example, let us assume there are like 200 objects available in the office. There are 200 persons available in the office, and the 200 people, they are belong to same company, that is search. So if all people are belong to same company, then if you go with the instance variables approach, your program will work. But this is a good programming because we need to create 200 times of 200 times of instance variable. 200 times we need to assign the value. 200 times we need to assign the value. So the thing is, all 200 people are belong to same company, that is search. If all people, what is the common property? Company name is the common property. That company common name you can mention in the static. So this is the recommended approach, right, guys? Whatever the objects have the common property, that common property we can mention by using static keyword. So instead of, so when you mention like this, then you can reduce lines of code. If you go with this approach, it will increase the lines of code and all. It will increase the lines of code and all. So you can access directly by using class name. So here, the company name, you can directly assign the value here, search, and I would say here you can directly access, if it is available in the same file, you can directly access the class name, or directly you can access. Class name is what? Demo is the class name. Demo dot, what is the variable name? Company. Company is the variable. That's it. That's it. So compared to if you go with this one, so you can reduce 2 lines for each object. Okay. So coming to here also same thing. So this is the recommended approach. Okay. Demo dot company. Okay. So here, very important point is, every, in case of here, every object will maintain same copy of the instance variables, guys. Same copy of the static variables. Static variables. Coming to here, every object will maintain its own copy of the instance variable. But coming to here, it will maintain any I would say every copy of the instance variables. Okay. So there is a story, guys. For example, so most of them are confusing when they are accessing the class names and all. So directly, if it is available in the same class, you can directly access. I can copy this one and then I can run this one, and then you can get the value as well. Run as Java application, you can get the same output. And if it is in the same file, directly you can access without class also, you can directly access company, and here also can access the company. So here most of them are confusing when they are accessing the class names and all. So here I will tell you small story for easily remembering of accessing the instance variables and I would say uh, static variables. So for example, there is a story. So in Java, JVM is the hero of, normally we can very important thing in the Java. For example, in your home, you are doing some function. You invited, there are two friends. One is your close friend, second one also your friend but not close. You invited both of them, and they will come to your function. So how you treat them? Whoever is very close to you, you can provide the special room, and like this, and not friend, normally they can come and they can come and they can go, right? There are two kind of errors in Java. In Java also, JVM has two friends. Very close friend is static. Very close friend is static, and so when you want to access the static variables, directly can access the static variables. Directly can access the static variables. Also, when you load the dot class files into the JVM, so dot class files, it will look for the close friend. Who is the close friend static variables? First genuine, it will look for from top to bottom of the Java file, it will look for the static keywords. Wherever static keywords will be there, So first it will try to it will give the memory to the static variables, and then but in case of instance variables, so directly it will not give. If you want to give the memory, it need one I would say object, and through the object only it can give the memory. So in JVM, very close friend is the static, and normal friend is the instance variables. So like that